Why are so many technology companies in the world racing for the humanoid robot war? Humans are still living well, and the world has developed for decades without the need for humanoid robots. Humans can do everything with our intelligence and available hands. The proof is that many great works technological products and world-shaking inventions are all created by humans. No machine can replace, so aren't humanoid robots redundant inventions? Why try to create things that look like humans when they can't be as smart and skillful as humans? Companies are really wasting time and money on these toys. Yeah, that's how most people view humanoid robots. We used to think the same way, back when AI was still basic and kind of a vague concept. But looking at where we are now, it honestly feels like decades have passed in just a few short years. The growth of AI has been insanely fast and widespread. It's literally taking over the world. So what happens when we put all that advanced intelligence into a robot body? That's exactly how Elon Musk, Tesla, and a bunch of other tech companies are thinking. It's why the world's leading electric car company is now shifting its focus to building humanoid robots. Say what you want about Elon Musk, love him or hate him, but considered a humanoid robot instead of a pile of metal. Tesla had to make it as human-like as possible. Of course, it wasn't designed to have full human senses like Amika, Sophia. The truth is that we were quite scared and worried about how kids would scream and panic if they brought such a robot home. Yeah, Tesla wouldn't do that. To make Optimus human-like, Tesla focused on the specifications, size, body proportions, and gave the robot many behaviors and reflexes as if it were a human. So how did Tesla do it? Let's start with the dimension. Optimus stands about 5 feet 10 inches tall or 1.78 meters, which is roughly the average height of an adult male in the US. Now, you might think, wow, it must be super heavy at that height. But the truth is, it only weighs about 130 pounds, or 59 kilograms. Tesla worked hard to keep the weight down, partly so the robot could move faster, and partly to reduce energy consumption, which helps it run longer on a single charge. The entire robot is covered in a high-performance polymer shell, basically a tough plastic that's heat-resistant and wear-resistant. The color scheme is simple black and white. On its head, there's a light strip that wraps around, which signals its status. White when it's working, orange-red when it needs to recharge. To be honest, there's not a whole lot to say about Optimus's design, and that's intentional. Tesla kept it simple for one main reason: ease of manufacturing. Other companies have tried to make flashy, complex humanoid robots, but when it came time to mass produce them, they hit a wall. The production costs skyrocketed, the robots didn't perform well, and the projects got scrapped. That's part of why so many people believe humanoid robots are just fancy prototypes locked away in labs. They've barely made it into the real world. Some of that tech can carry over, but let's be real, that alone is never enough. For Tesla to pull off building not just any humanoid robot, but the most advanced and promising one out there, they're going to have to take a totally different route from what their competitors are doing. Elon Musk is famously a wild visionary. Some might say crazy, with dreams way beyond what most people can even imagine. But let's face it, everything he's done so far has left the world in awe. He made EVs cool, created reusable rockets, implanted chips in the brains of disabled individuals to help restore function, and even launched Grok to compete with ChatGPT. And now, with Optimus, Musk claims that all 8 billion people on Earth are going to want one. Tesla's goal eventually priced it at just $20,000. But we're willing to bet it'll still be way cheaper than most humanoid robots out there today. Since it's not on the market yet, what really matters right now is how it stands out from the crowd. We mean, how does a company known for making EVs approach building a humanoid robot? In our opinion, that question is way more important. Yeah, Elon Musk is once again doing the exact opposite of what his competitors are doing. While other companies are all about making their robots smarter, faster, or capable of doing flips and fancy moves, Tesla is focusing on something Musk says is the most important part: Optimus's hands.
So much the intelligence of humans goes into what we do with our hands.
Yeah.
Like the manipulation of the world, manipulation of objects in the world.
So far, it's not the brain but actually the hands of the Tesla bot that stand out the most, and they really showcase the peak of Tesla's engineering. In fact, the hands are probably the most valuable part of the Tesla bot, creating a serious gap between it and the competition. Now, We're not saying the Optimus has just a fancy pair of hands instead of a smart brain, it has both. For the first time ever, a robot hand has achieved 22 degrees of freedom, just 5 less than a human hand. And if TeslaBot's brain really does get to human-level intelligence one day and combines with this advanced hand design, it could potentially perform 80 out of the 100 tasks a human can do. That's huge. No wonder Elon Musk posted on X, saying this hand could thread a needle, play the piano, and do things way beyond what we ever thought a robot could pull off.
If you want to have a humanoid robot that can do things that a human can do, it's a very high bar. So our new arm has 22 degrees of freedom instead of 11.
Yeah.
The hand might be close to half of all the engineering in Optimus. From an electromechanical standpoint, the hand is probably roughly half of the engineering.
So you could say, pick up a cup, pick up a shirt, fold the shirt. These things will generalize, I think, quite quickly. Our next generation has 22 degrees of freedom. It will be able to play the piano. So it's really like, wow.
When talking about the Tesla bot, Elon Musk admitted that Optimus's hand took up almost half of the engineering effort of the Tesla engineering team. It was much more complex than originally thought. Why? In order for the hand to function and move naturally, it had to incorporate a lot of actuators. However, the challenge was to balance this complexity. If you add too many actuators, the hand would become too large, look bulky, and not achieve the desired level of flexibility or strength. So the Tesla team had to move these actuators to the forearm.
We tried putting the actuators in the hand itself, but then you sort of end up having these like
Giant hands.
Yeah, giant hands that look weird.
But that's not all. Have you ever wondered why human fingers are different lengths? The fact that fingers are different lengths is no coincidence. If all fingers were the same length, dexterity would be greatly reduced. Differences in length allow for fine control and provide an advantage in tasks that require high precision. For example, the little finger, although small, plays a vital role in dexterity. Losing it would severely reduce the ability to perform delicate tasks. So Optimus's hand is one of the rare robotic hands to have 5 fingers of different lengths, just like a human hand. This unique design allows it to perform a variety of precision tasks, such as holding eggs, carrying a tray of batteries, or serving drinks, all of which require an extraordinary level of precision from the hands.
And your dexterity is actually better if your fingers are of different length. Like there's a reason we've got a little finger. Like why not have a little finger that's bigger?
Yeah.
Because it allows you to do fine.
Elon Musk has hinted more than once that Optimus, Tesla's humanoid robot, could soon become your household helper. He said,
You can imagine like your own personal robot buddy that is a great friend, but also takes care of your house. We'll clean your house. We'll mow the lawn. We'll walk the dog. We'll teach your kids. We'll babysit. And will also enable the production of goods and services.
Okay, sounds futuristic, right? But picture this. You get home after a long day. Dinner's already on the table. The house is spotless. The lawn's freshly mowed, laundry's folded, and your kid's doing math homework with Optimus Tutor. At that point, you'd probably think, okay, this thing just paid for itself. Of course, someone's always going to ask the real questions like, wait a sec, how's Optimus doing all that? Isn't it kind of gross if it just cleaned the toilet and then goes straight into the kitchen to prep my salad with the same hands? And yeah, that would be nasty. But relax, that's not how it works. We're talking about one of the smartest robots in the world, and Elon literally called it a real brain. What does it mean? That means Optimus may enough smart to knows when its hands are dirty. It's aware of what it just did, and smart enough to think, probably shouldn't touch until its hand wash up. Now, if you're wondering, but won't it short circuit or freak out after washing its hands? Good question. We do the same thought, but nope. When it comes to Tesla, people often think of the innovations and almost supernatural water resistance of their products. A typical example is the Cybertruck constantly transforming into a boat, gliding on the water as if nothing happened. With that technological foundation, creating a waterproof robotic hand is almost a small matter for Tesla. But the story doesn't stop there. In our opinion, the real challenge is how to make the Optimus hand not only survive in water, but also feel water. Unlike your average electronics, Optimus is designed with real-world messes in mind. And when you think about it, would anyone seriously buy a robot to help around the house if it couldn't handle a little water? The 11 degrees of freedom version of Optimus's hand looks more like exposed machinery than wires, joints, and all, so that might make us skeptical. But the newer version? It has 22 degrees of freedom in the hand, better protection, and a much sleeker design. You can even see Optimus's new hand in a tennis ball catching video from late last year. So yeah, washing its hands? That's the least of what it can do. Creating a humanoid robot that can perform most human tasks is an incredibly ambitious goal, one that very few are even bold enough to promise. Optimus's arm, which previously had 11 degrees of freedom, has now doubled to 22, thanks to actuators cleverly placed in the forearm. That's a major breakthrough, and it's been recognized by some of the top engineers in the world. Each actuator and sensor has been designed from scratch, based on fundamental physics principles, while also mimicking the biological structure of the human hand. Whether it's on the factory floor, in a warehouse, the service industry, or even in our daily lives, the main goal of Optimus is to simplify things and free humans from repetitive, time-consuming work. What makes Optimus so valuable is its ability to handle a wide range of tasks during a 10-hour workday with fast charging. To put it in perspective, the average American worker earns around $35,000 a year, not including training, benefits, or paid time off. Meanwhile, an Optimus robot, priced at about $20,000, can do the work of 2 to 3 employees, doesn't need breaks, and can save businesses at least $15,000 in just the first year. In retail, Optimus could handle things like stocking shelves, cleaning, or assisting at checkout. In hospitality, it could work as a server in restaurants or hotels. And with its tireless work ethic, Optimus can maintain top-level service all day, every day, saving businesses tens of thousands of dollars annually on labor costs. Millions of people are probably already getting ready to pre-order the Optimus robot when Tesla officially opens sales, which could happen as early as Q2 next year. On the flip side, we weren't too surprised when Elon Musk confirmed that Tesla employees will be the first to get access to Optimus. And honestly, we get it. This is classic Tesla strategy. It's exactly what they did with their electric vehicles. The first batches always go to internal staff, celebrities, or people who can bring more value than just making a purchase. Celebrities create massive media buzz, and employees provide real-world feedback that helps Tesla fine-tune the product and iron out any issues before ramping up production. Now, we're not saying the Tesla bot is the best humanoid robot in the world. Every robot has its own strengths, and it really depends on what you need it for. But if we're talking about a robot that can help with everyday household tasks and actually be mass-produced at scale, Tesla Bot is clearly one of the top contenders. With its smart design, adaptive learning, and the backing of one of the world's leading tech companies, Tesla Bot is paving the way for a future where humanoid robots aren't just stuck in labs anymore. They could actually become part of our daily lives, changing the way we live and work. Sure, it might replace some jobs, but it'll also create new ones. That's how we see it. What do you think about Tesla and the Optimus robot? Do you believe it'll be as useful in the real world as Elon Musk says? And are you in favor of humanoid robots? Drop a comment below. See you in the next episode, and thanks for watching.